Audi, and all German brands for that matter, like to offer something for everyone. The SQ5 exists for the person who needs the utility of a crossover, but still wants the athleticism of one of Audi's sports cars. So, for roughly the same price as an S4 or S5, you now have an additional choice, also all new for 2018. Like always, our review will cover all trims and packages of the SQ5, and discuss the differences between the regular Q5 and the outgoing model. So let's go ahead and see if the SQ5 can successfully combine two things that typically don't go together. We would like to specially thank Audi of Lexington for giving us access to today's vehicle. If you would like to find out more information about their stunning dealership and large inventory of all the Audi models, then follow the link to their website provided in the video description. The SQ5 carries over the lovely key fob from the Q5, except with some extra S badging on the back. Advanced keyless entry is standard, so just press the sensor to lock and grab the handle to unlock. Let's first check out the big changes under the hood. So if you watched any of our previous S model reviews, you already have a pretty good idea of what powers the SQ5. For the engine, you now have a turbocharged unit instead of the supercharged one. It is a 3-liter turbo V6 which produces 354 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque, exactly the same as the S4 and S5. All that power comes through an 8-speed automatic transmission, and it is put to the ground by standard Quattro all-wheel drive. Now this Quattro system is not the Ultra version like on the Q5, so it is never propelled by just the front wheels. Its default state is a rear bias, 60-40 power distribution, but by opting for the S Sport package, you get a Sport diff which can send almost all of the torque to one wheel. Again, this is identical to the S4 and S5. All this added performance doesn't penalize the driver too much over the standard 4-cylinder Q5. It is rated at 19 city, 24 highway, 21 combined, a 4 miles per gallon reduction. However, that's 2 better than the outgoing model. Anyways, now let's check out all the upgrades to the exterior. I've mentioned the S4 and S5 a lot so far because this is essentially the taller version of them. Another flavor, if you will. Up front, the grille uses the same formula, which is to take the regular one and soup it up. On the SQ5, the bars are thicker with black in them, plus the whole thing is finished in platinum. The upgraded headlights from the Q5 make the leap to all SQ5s. They are fully LED with the latest 3D design. This area and the lower bumper are a more noticeable change from the regular Q5, and they help it look a lot meaner than the outgoing model. Ground clearance is 8.2 inches unless you opt for the optional air suspension, which gives you 4 inches of adjustability. That's part of the S Sport package. Looking at the wheels, they are 20-inch twin-spoke star design wheels, and they are standard on both trim levels. There is an optional 21-inch Audi Sport double V-spoke wheel for those of you who want a little extra bling. These are probably adequate for most of you all, and they look really nice in person. The brakes are obviously bigger than the standard Q5, at 13.8 inches in the front and 13 inches in the rear, both ventilated discs. Summer tires are actually standard, but you can select all seasons if you want for no additional cost. The mirrors have all the same features as a Q5 Prestige, which includes auto dimming and power folding. They are finished in the signature aluminum optic silver. The SQ5 is 183.6 inches long, pretty much in line with the Mercedes GLC 43 AMG, Porsche Macan Turbo, and Jaguar F-Pace S. The optional adaptive dampening suspension from the Q5 is standard here, and like I said, a sport air suspension is also available. There are no safety ratings available yet, but automatic pre-collision braking and blind spot monitoring are both standard. The driver's assistance package on Prestige throws in adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, and high beam assistant. The 18.5-gallon fuel tank is unchanged from the Q5, which means that the SQ5 is good for 389 miles of range. Obviously, you need premium fuel for the high-performance engine. Around back, there are also extensive changes relative to the old model. Those signature features like the clamshell tailgate carry over. I don't think there are any changes to the taillights from the Q5, so they are still fully LED with a 3D shape and dynamic turn signals. This diffuser is the biggest change in the rear, with integrated quad exhaust. I say that with a little asterisk because they are still fake like on the Q5. Also unchanged from the Q5 is the 4,400 pound tow rating, but I don't imagine people do much towing in a performance vehicle like this. You've got your rear wiper, rear spoiler, and the standard aluminum roof rails. Well, that covers everything on the outside, So now let's check out all the performance upgrades to the interior. With the SQ5, Audi had to accomplish a very difficult mission. That mission was to provide all the functionality and luxury of the Q5, yet make the cabin sporty enough to still pull off the S badge. Like its other S siblings, you have 3 interior color choices: black like we have here, rock gray, or magma red. Our model has the Nappa leather package, where the regular model has Alcantara inserts. And we have the optional carbon atlas trim. As we look at the door trim, you'll notice a few enhancements over the regular Q5. We've got this nice leatherette padding, along with some soft Alcantara. Here's a close-up of the carbon atlas trim. We also have 2-person memory seats on all SQ5s, for the seat and mirrors. Helping to maintain that sporty feel, all models get these nice stainless steel pedals. The seats are 12-way power adjusting, with 4-way power lumbar. And you do get this nice thigh extension as well. I absolutely love these diamond stitch seats, and the Nappa leather feels very supple. You are missing the massaging function standard on the S4 and S5 models. Now that we finally got out of the rain, you can take a good look at the interior. As you can see, it looks nice, and it's also built to the typical high Audi standards. The dash is all soft touch plastic, and then you've got some more carbon fiber trim with Quattro badging. Finally, in the center, we get some leatherette padding. As expected, push-button start is standard equipment on the SQ5. Both virtual cockpit and this 8.3-inch display are part of the navigation package. This is a must-have in my opinion. Now that is how I like my SUVs to sound when they start up. It sounds like a full-fledged sports car, so I hope you can hear it. Anyways, what you're looking at is Audi's renowned virtual cockpit, new to the SQ5 for 2018. It's 12.3 inches, high def, and highly customizable. To adjust it to your liking, just use the buttons on the left of the steering wheel. We are now in the traditional view instead of the center mounted tack. You can scroll through alerts, audio, your phone if connected, and finally a huge map. Now I've got Google Earth activated, which is even better than the standard map. There's so much detail, and zooming in and out is extremely smooth. The steering is electromechanical power assisted, and there is a dynamic steering option on both trims. This is another option straight from the S5. Regardless, you get this gorgeous flat bottom steering wheel with real metal accents and great feeling leather. Here are all your steering wheel controls for just about everything. Also, rain sensing wipers are standard equipment, as are the paddle shifters. The wheel itself is manually adjustable and heating is optional. We have the standard cruise control, but the adaptive setup is available on the Prestige, like I already mentioned. The standard side assist lights up this and the ambient lights if a car enters into your blind spot. The main reason you'd get an SQ5 over the sedan or coupe is for the storage space. The SQ5 delivers with a good-sized center armrest and several connections. This little piece also slides back, revealing your hidden cup holders. The armrest itself has a lot of adjustability. You've got a little area good for your key fob, and then this little shelf good for your phone. Here is Audi's new electronic shifter, which is good for maximizing space. Just pull back once for drive. Tapping back again will put the car into a sport mode. You can bump this shifter to the right for manual shifting, but the paddles are a better option. Once reverse is engaged, a standard backup camera appears on the screen. It has dynamic guidance lines, or Prestige gets a 360-degree monitor instead. Tap P for park. You also have an electronic parking brake, but no auto brake hold feature. We have the optional Prestige Bang & Olufsen sound system. It has 19 speakers. The standard Premium Plus audio system has 10 speakers. Here is the new MMI controller, with a large touchpad for handwriting inputs. Moving on up, we have controls for the drive modes. In addition to an off-road mode, there is an additional setting that you can customize. Above that, the SQ5 gets the fancy climate controls that I really like. They are 3-zone automatic. The toggles are touch sensitive, so you get a preview of what each does before you press them. You also have standard 3-stage heated front seats with ventilated seats as an option. Now let's quickly check out MMI. This is the newest version of Audi MMI with the latest graphics and fastest performance. One extra thing in the modes is that you have info buttons for when off-roading. In media, you can control the Bluetooth audio or connect to a variety of other sources. In navigation, you can write addresses or use voice commands. Of course, over here you get the 3D Google Earth maps as well. And as you can see, scrolling is very smooth and fast. Audi Connect has a ton of features powered by the 4G LTE connection that this vehicle has. I'm not going to go through all of them, so check out our dedicated Audi MMI Tech Help video for more information about Audi Connect, as well as the entire MMI system. The last thing I'll point out is the smartphone interface. Android Auto or Apple CarPlay will appear here if you plug in a compatible device. You do get this auto-dimming rearview mirror. The HomeLink universal remotes are not under here, but they are actually up here on the ceiling. This panoramic moonroof is standard on all SQ5s. I'm not going to open it because obviously it's raining. If for some reason you don't want this, you can delete it for no charge. All in all, the SQ5's cabin is an impressive place to spend time. It has all the same sporty touches that are in the S4 and S5, but with all the space and storage of the Q5. And the high-tech features really set it off. Now Mason will finish things up.
The SQ5's rear door trim is just as nice as what you'd find in the front. The leather padding is soft, and so are these Alcantara inserts. The handle is real aluminum, and the windows back here are of course automatic. Since the SQ5 is a sported up Q5 after all, it obviously has a spacious and comfortable rear seat. The actual numbers slide in at 37.8 inches of legroom and 39.3 inches of headroom, making it right around average for the class. We've also got some nice creature comforts like these climate controls standard. Through the cold weather pack, there will also be heated rear seats in these spots. And finally, there's a 12-volt power outlet. There's also a fold-down center armrest with a couple pop-out cup holders. Up top, there's an assist grip, coat hook, and LED light. And since the SQ5 starts at Premium Plus, every model has this panoramic moonroof. It's not good for a day like today, but it does let a lot of light in. Legroom is ample with the seat adjusted to Drew's position. Over there with the seat all the way back, it's not so spacious, but you do get knee cutouts. So overall, those of you looking to buy this SUV will find that it has a luxurious, comfortable rear seat, but with some sporty touches here and there. And I do want to mention that the seats can fold through this lever or one located in the trunk. As you would expect, the SQ5 comes standard with a power tailgate. You can open it through the key, or just wave your foot underneath the bumper since that's standard too. Once the tailgate raises, you'll find an increased 26.8 cubic feet behind the second row, and a maximum of 60.4 cubic feet. That does put it at an advantage over the Porsche Macan or Mercedes GLC. I know it's covered in lots of junk, but the carpeting in this rear area is very nice, and you do get a stainless steel protector. And here's that lever I was talking about. The sport seats on this side are exactly the same as the driver's at 12-way power adjusting. The dash is also nicely padded, and I really like this carbon fiber trim. The glove box, as you can see, is very large, felt-lined, and illuminated. I also like the looks and feel of this leatherette trim. Well guys, we hope you enjoyed the first in-depth review of the all-new 2018 Audi SQ5. Please stay tuned for the pricing information of this particular model, as well as the rest of the SQ5 lineup. Also be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons to keep the great content coming, and we'll catch you later as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.